Hello, this is Tim Bryce with the National Weather Service here in El Paso. This is a web briefing for the strong winds and a wee bit of snow we're expecting on Wednesday. This web briefing was recorded December 18th at around 2:30 in the afternoon. All right, let's get into it. Well, if you remember last Friday, you can take last Friday and we'll have a little less wind and a little less snow. That's a quick summary. Looking at the weather story, we are expecting strong winds of 35 to 45 miles an hour on Wednesday, mainly Wednesday afternoon for the Sacramento Mountains, and a little before noon in the Gila Wilderness. We could see gusts to 60 miles an hour. We will also see strong winds in the lowlands, but they'll be dialed back just a little, so we're expecting 30 to 40 mile an hour winds on Wednesday in the lowlands, with gusts maybe to 55. We are expecting a little bit of snow, 1 to 3 inches of snow in the Gila Wilderness above 6,000 feet, and maybe, if you're lucky, 1 to 2 inches of snow in the Sacramento Mountains. Okay, real quickly, we'll go through these weather maps. This looks again very similar to what we saw on Friday, except if you were to go back and look at that, you'll see that this storm system is a little further north, and that makes all the difference. That means less moisture to work with, and actually, in our case, this case as well, less wind to generate. So this storm is going to be later this afternoon. We'll be sitting over northern or southern California. By tomorrow morning, it'll be pretty close to the Four Corners area. And again, if you remember the other storm, it was much more down towards central Arizona. So this storm, again, differing from Friday's storm by being a little further north. You can see it has much less moisture to tap into. By Wednesday afternoon, the storm has already passed by, moving into the Texas Panhandle. And you can already see the drier air is already working in on the back side of it. So what can we expect as far as snow goes? Like I was saying, not a whole lot, not anything to get excited about like we did last time in the Gila, where we did see some significant snows. This time, you might get 1 inch of snow in Silver City, and at the higher elevations, up to 3 inches of snow. In the Sacramento Mountains, keep your fingers crossed, and you might get 1 to 2 inches. But as you saw on that track, it just doesn't seem to have a lot of moisture to work with. So maybe 1 to 2 inches, but it's nothing really to get that excited about. Really, what will be more interesting or potential to cause problems will be the wind gusts. And here you can see we're expecting wind gusts across the lowlands in the upper 40s to near 50. In the mountains, 55 to 60. It will for sure be a potential. Of course, anytime you're on the east slopes of any of the mountains, you'll see stronger wind gusts there and through any of the mountain gaps. Some of the uncertainties, still a little question, even this close, on how strong the winds will be. They could be a little higher in the lowlands, and exact timing on when they'll start is still a little bit in question. Like I said, how much snow the mountains will get, still in doubt. The Gila Wilderness looks pretty good for 1 to 3 inches of snow, and like I said, the Sacs, like I said, what you get, just count yourself lucky. And then in the lowlands, be interesting to see. Sometimes we get blowing dust. Sometimes we don't. The event on Friday gave us blowing dust, so we're expecting some blowing dust again. It's just a little hard to tell during the winter time. So again, by the time you see this, there'll be a high wind warning out for the Gila Wilderness and the east slopes of the Black Range. And these are all for Wednesday, I should say. There'll be a high wind warning for the southern Sacramento Mountains on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday in the lowlands, we can expect a wind advisory. And we're really not expecting any winter or snow highlights because just the system's too dry to give us enough snow to warrant even an advisory. So it'll be more of just a light amount of snow. So again, looking at the summary, very strong winds. 35 to 45 miles an hour in the Gila Wilderness and Sacramento Mountains, a little less in the lowlands. Strong winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour, and some blowing dust. The one thing we wanted to point out is that remember that wintertime winds, just keep in mind that wintertime winds can have a bigger impact than some similar winds during the spring. And case in point was some telephone poles that were snapped in half in El Paso on Friday's event. We didn't see anything like that in the springtime, but with the same wind speeds, they seem to have a bigger impact than during the spring. Of course, emergency managers are always urged to monitor the latest statements and forecasts. So thank you for joining me. As always, you can get the latest information from our website at weather.gov/El Paso, and you can keep monitoring things and post your weather reports if you'd like on our Facebook page. Just do a search for U.S. National Weather Service El Paso, Texas, or you can send us a tweet. Our handle is at NWS El Paso. Thank you very much.